And for more about the Indian power outage and what is actually happening in India, let's bring in my colleague, Mohsin Mughal, here in the studio. Well, Mohsin, I know you know very well India's infrastructure. This is the second blackout in as many days. How huge is it actually?
Well, it's really huge. So I can tell you half of India's 1.2 billion people were without power as the grids covering a dozen states, as Shweta told us, broke down. And the second major blackout in as many days. And of course, we had one blackout there in 2001, but that wasn't as big. This blackout actually is a huge embarrassment for the government as it struggles to revive that economic growth right now. Stretching from Assam to the Himalayas and to the deserts of Rajasthan, the power cut is the worst to hit India in more than a decade, as I told you. Now, trains were stranded in Kolkata and in Delhi, and thousands of people poured out of the sweltering capital's modern metro system when it came to a halt at lunchtime. Office buildings, buildings were switched off. Actually, they had to switch to diesel generators, and there were roads that were clogged, chock-a-block. More than a dozen states with a total population of 670 million people were without power, with lights out even at major hospitals in Kolkata. Right now, the country's southern and western grids are supplying power to restore the situation.
And Mohsin, we know this is the peak time of summer in India, especially in the north. So people there are actually leading a very difficult life. What is the reasons for the outage?
Well, in fact, the reasons cited are overdrawing of electricity by certain states. Very recently, Zoe, in May this year, the Central Electricity Regulatory Authority had issued notices to the states of Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Punjab and Haryana, asking them to halt this overdrawing of power from the northern grid. While the regulatory authorities had asked these states to be prepared to buy additional power to meet that anticipated demand during the summers and the monsoons, which of course have failed, the states also failed to take notice and did not maintain the grid discipline. As per official data, I'm quoting here, Uttar Pradesh last month actually drew 3,762 million units of power. Imagine, as against the allotted share of 3,011 million units. Now, the power per day overdraw was about 25 million units. The regions like Haryana and Rajasthan also significantly overdrew from the grid.
So a huge overdraw from the grid. Would such a huge breakdown mean a lot for the Indian economy and as well as people's lives?
Of course, a huge impact, I must say. I mean, we've got the map of India here. In fact, imagine it's Asia's third largest economy, suffering a peak hour power deficit as it tries to revive that sluggish economic growth. The problem has been made worse by a weak monsoon already, as I told you, in agricultural states such as the bread basket that's known as Punjab and Uttar Pradesh to the north. As you can see, this black area. No electricity, with less rain to irrigate crops, and the impact is going to be definitely huge. I can draw your attention to this map again. In northern states, as I told you, Punjab and Haryana, which are the agrarian belts, no monsoons plus no electricity to run the irrigation pumps is going to inflict huge losses. Turning to the northeast of India, which is this part of India, the manufacturing belt, where all the factories are, have also been hit, impacting the production, which will in turn cause disturbances to the entire supply chain of the country. And to top it all, the huge losses that the country's transportation system will witness are definitely going to be colossal.
All right. Thank you, Mohsin. Thank you very much. And